why are you running for mayor of Santa Maria?
Yeah, I'd like to bring changes, positive changes to Santa Maria. I'd like to bring new businesses and entertainment that will set us apart from our neighboring cities, place Santa Maria on the map. I'd like to see that we bring entertainment that will keep Santa Marians here in Santa Maria and also bring in new tourism. I'd like to see some of that, and I think that we can do that. For example, I've traveled to many parts of California, and typically when I let other Californians know that I'm from Santa Maria, they don't know where Santa Maria is at, and that is what I would like to change.
Why do you feel like you are the best candidate?
You know, I've been on the school board for 10 years, and also I was a commissioner for California State Parks. I have about 14 years of working as a public servant. I really do believe that I've handled very complicated land and personnel issues. I've been in that training ground, and I think I'm ready for the city level. I think that this is the right time for me and where I am at this point in my life.
So you have three candidates in this race here, three opponents, and one of them is a longtime mayor,
right,
who's been in office as mayor since 2012, in office here in City Council since 2000. So why do you feel like it's time for a change and for a new mayor here in the city?
Well, I think we need a new leadership. One of the main reasons that includes why I'm running is that we have a $20 million deficit. I think that the city is in a precarious situation that we need to resolve. I have the skills, having overseen a $170 million budget at the school district, always balanced. And so I think that this is one of the major concerns that we have in the city that I would like to address. And I think I'm the right person to help balance the budget and restore the reserves for the city of Santa Maria.
And I'll ask you about that specifically in a moment, but moving on in order, what are the main issues here in Santa Maria for this race?
Yeah, I think we have a number of issues. We have more crime in the city. I think we all know that. There's traffic issues, homeless issues that we need to address. And we also have many families that are struggling with high rents. And so there's a high number of issues that need to be addressed in the city.
How would you describe the current state of Santa Maria?
You know, I think that we have the basics of a city, but we need to bring in new and creative ideas if we're going to move in a new direction. And that's one of the reasons that I want to bring out of the box ideas that will bring in tourism and dollars, because we do really need to support our local businesses. Our local businesses are the backbone of the city, and I want to assure that they are thriving, because that is what generates the revenue for the city.
You just mentioned it. The city is unfortunately facing a significant budget deficit here. What does that mean? If you can tell voters here, why is that significant, and what can you do to correct that and reverse that?
Well, one of the reasons that we have a $20 million deficit is that current city leadership approved and passed using one-time COVID funds to hire over 150 new personnel. And I think that was just an irresponsible decision that was made. And so we're going to need to correct some of those decisions in order to balance that budget. And one of the proposals that the city is considering in balancing the budget is making significant cuts to fire and police, and or increasing a long list of taxes. And actually, I want to be clear with the residents of Santa Maria, I will not be in favor of cutting fire and police services. We passed Measure U for the purpose of making sure that we have public safety, and I will be against that idea. Now, there are other ways that we can balance the budget. We need to look at non-essentials before we ever consider cutting fire and police.
And I'll ask you that specifically too here in just a few moments.
I'm ahead of you.
No, yeah. The city right now is currently in the process of the long proposed and planned redevelopment of downtown. It's really now finally starting to kick in with some projects moving. What are your thoughts about what's happening downtown, and what do you feel like your overall vision is of what downtown should be?
I actually support the downtown project. The housing, we absolutely need the housing. I don't think anybody can dispute that. My concern is the additional traffic, the resources that we're going to need to accommodate 1,000 more people downtown. And do we have those resources? We have to think ahead. And right now, with a $20 million deficit, I'm concerned about how we're going to manage all the new development with not enough resources.
What would you like Santa Maria to look like, say 10, 15, even 20 years down the line?
I would like to see us expand into other areas of the city, assure that we're growing properly for the 20 to 30,000 new residents that will be coming to Santa Maria. We need to be thinking ahead of what that's going to look like, and I would like to address those issues in the general plan. I think we need to think of what 20 years will look like today, and that's one of the reasons that I'm running, because I want to deal with those issues.
What is something Santa Maria currently doesn't have that you would like to see or bring to into the future? And it could be anything.
You know, I'd like to see industries and businesses that provide living wages. I think that we need to bring in unique businesses that will help us stand out, as I've said before. So, for example, I would have loved to have seen an IKEA here, because that's a great store that gets a lot of attention. And maybe some industries in engineering and other services that will provide a living wage for residents. We need to address the fact that we have a high number of our talent, our youth, that leave our schools, our high schools and community college every year and don't come back because we don't offer living wage jobs here.
And you touched on public safety, so I'll ask you specifically. The local firefighters union has been looking for a new contract for several months. There's been some high-profile demonstrations here at City Hall. How would you express your support for public safety? I know you already have. About your support of public safety, particularly firefighters, and what would you like to see done ultimately with the firefighters and a new contract?
With our firefighters, we need to get back to renegotiating their contract. We need to pay firefighters a fair living wage. That will be one of my priorities. And look, we have, there's a lot of other projects that are non-essential. I don't think that we need to be putting artwork in our roadways when our firefighters need a living wage. I'm going to look at those types of ideas and see what we can give or take in order to assure that our public safety city employees are paid fairly so that they can provide the services that we need in the community.
Two more questions. Second to last is, a vote for you is a vote for what?
A vote for me is a vote for change, a vote to take the city in a new direction. I will work hard to assure that we work with our city leaders, city council, county supervisors from both counties, and the community to address all of the issues that we have on the table, which includes homelessness and the future of Santa Maria. I will bring that to the table.
And then just the last question. Anything else you want people to know about your campaign, anything, your platform, anything that I didn't ask that you'd like to touch on?
I'd like to ask the residents of Santa Maria to consider a new leader. I will bring in new ideas, excitement to the city that's never been seen before. So if we're looking for a new direction and a new way of doing things, I think I'm the action-oriented leader that will create that.
Thank you for your time.